Hello and welcome to CANDID. Basically, we're sisters. I'm Leah.
I'm Sophie.
I'm younger,
I'm
3 years
older.
younger. I'm 25, nearly 26.
We don't need to do our ages. I'm nearly
You
29.
you can do the maths from there. So basically, yeah, we're just like very talkative people. Yeah, especially. You look like a deer in headlights right now. Anyway, yeah. So we're very talkative, very sociable.
Very different. I've actually added a bit of colour because I looked like I was just off in this little emo
she was all in
zone.
black, so we kind of had to be like, now it looks like we're matching. But yeah, we're basically like, look at us, we're like chalk and cheese, like completely different personalities.
Anyway, so what we're going to do in this podcast is just talk about everything and anything. I'm very nosy. She didn't want me to say that, but I am.
So I'm not nosy.
But I am. And we're just going to talk about everything and anything. And I found a few different stories we're going to discuss throughout each episode. If there's anything you want us to say or talk about, email us. I'll put it in the box below if you're watching this on YouTube.
So basically, you've got it from Reddit today, haven't you?
Yeah, so this episode is purely about toxic mother-in-laws.
Mother truckers.
And yeah, luckily I've never had to deal with this. I've been with my husband 10 years, 11 years this year. I've been married nearly a year, but mother-in-law wise, she's sound. I like her. I love her. She's great. She has an opposite experience to this.
Yeah, so basically, I've been with my boyfriend, or technically fiance.
She doesn't like using the
I
word.
just think it don't sound very nice unless you say in like a French accent, like fiance. Yeah, but I can't do accents. So basically, I've been with him for 11 years now, and like his mother-in-law. Well, no, my mother-in-law, his mother, she's
You
just
do like your mum, Lee. I just not his.
she literally like she's just a narcissist, isn't she? She's just crazy. For legal reasons, I'm not naming names.
She
Anyway.
deleted me off Facebook, so who uses Facebook these days other than me? So today's all about toxic mother-in-laws, and I have a few different stories. I tried to do a little bit of everything, and they are all very much like, oh really, like don't know, yeah. So the first one I found is ready about pregnancy. Okay. So this says, so my mother-in-law called my husband today and was in a foul mood over some drama. At the end of this conversation, she drops the bomb that she posted on social media. She was going to be a grandmother. He told her to take it down and she was very upset. She, of course, was like, well, it's my news too. My news too. But took it down after it being up for God knows how long. I'm only 11 weeks and we were not planning on announcing for at least another month due to previously having a miscarriage. How do we address this? I'm so upset. I don't even know where to start.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it?
Because that's a lot. It is a lot.
Well, the thing is, yeah, like, look, imagine like your child has a child. Like, obviously, you're going to feel very intense. Like, my God.
It's exciting. I get it. Like, it's an exciting thing, but it's not your thing.
And the thing is, yeah, but is it just social media? Is she saying she can't tell like her friends? Because we don't really know on that side.
Well, I think if we just relate it to this point in question, it's social media. We all know social media it just needs one person. And the thing is as well, I just think she should be like cut off from being told anything. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you when I'm going into labour. I won't tell you when the baby's here.
Okay, that's
I'll let you. Yeah, but it's not her business to tell.
I think this is what I personally think, yeah, is that you can tell someone something, but you have to remember you can't actually control if they're going to pass that on.
Yeah, but social media is different. Like, she could be like, oh, Audrey, I'm going to be a grandmother. And then she'll be like, oh, did you hear about Deirdre? She's going to be a grandmother. I don't know why I'm going for these names. But, that's different because she would never know. Like, it's like, oh, I'm going to tell you a secret, but don't tell so-and-so that I've told you this, which I don't condone. I have done. But I don't condone. But, well, it depends who it is. Like, if someone told me a secret, you don't count.
Yeah. Like...
So, it just depends who it is. But social media is a different kettle of fish. And I think, no, like, that is their special moment that she has just taken away from them.
But then, yeah, not to be offensive, But I know normally like older people.
Normally, when you say not going to be offensive, it's offensive. I get reminded this all the time.
No, but no, normally like older people on Facebook, they don't normally have that many friends on there, and they don't even really know how to use it properly.
But the thing is, if this is what she's done for the pregnancy, when it comes to the birth, is she going to be telling everyone? Is she going to be calling up the radio? Because old people do that. Like, hi, I'm going to be a grandmother. You just don't know.
Okay.
And I think as well, like the fact that she said she wasn't planning on announcing it for another month, like that kind of thing. You wait. It's like wedding photos. Unless the bride and groom say, I'm happy for you to put these up, you do not put those photos up until they put up their photos first.
Maybe I'm just different because like, but the way I just think of it, if I didn't want anyone to know, if I didn't want there to be a chance, I just wouldn't have told the mother-in-law. I would have just waited that extra 4 weeks just to know that she's then not going to say anything.
Yeah, but I think through life and protocol, like if I was to tell you something like that big, you would know. I wouldn't want it to go anywhere else. And I think the fact that she's had a miscarriage before, it just makes this whole, pregnancy is scary at the best of times, and this is just a different, it's just a different kettle of fish completely, because she's already gone through such a horrific, traumatizing thing that would make this pregnancy so much more like pregnancy is worrying anyway.
Oh, don't even want to think about that.
After having a miscarriage, that, no one else has gone through that but her. Like, yes, the husband has, but like physically, emotionally, like through the body. That's all her.
But then as well,
I feel like we're not going to agree on this one, and I thought this was very clear cut, but clearly not.
But also, just to play like devil's
advocate.
Is
it devil's advocate? No?
Just for a little bit, let's just say that really, in the grand scheme of things, is it that deep?
It is though.
Is it that deep?
But it
because
is.
Look, God willing, she'll have that baby. There'll be no complications. Yeah. Everyone's going to find out when the baby pops out.
Yes, but it's on their terms. Like, I would just be like, if you can't be trusted with this information, I will let you know once this baby's 3 weeks old.
Do you know what? I just think when you've been through some crap in life, you just think, is it that deep? No.
It's respect. It's respect.
But then...
It's respect, Leah. No.
My last point on this one, is that, look, she's now not going to be enjoying some of her pregnancy because she's going to be going back and forth, arguing and stressing about this. Like, she just needs to, it's happened. Let it go, move on. Like, what's done is done.
See, whereas I'm like, it's happened. I'm going to be pissed off about it. I'm going to let everyone know I'm pissed off about it. And then I'll eventually get over it and then remember it in 2 years when you're annoying me about something else. And then I'll get over it again.
No, I just think, look, be annoyed for a couple of days. And then, do you know what? It's done. So, move on. Don't fester. Don't fester.
I think that the mum was in the wrong. The mother-in-law was in the wrong. She's taken stuff that wasn't hers to give to people, took that away from them, something that's supposed to be so special between two people, and she shat on it. Shit on it. Never said shat in my life. She shit on it.
Okay, and what I would say to her is, look, your feelings are valid. Now get a grip. It's time to move on. Move on.
You are not very nice.
Now let's move on to number 2.
Okay, I feel like this one we might differ again. I feel like that might be the whole basis of this podcast. Yeah, but Leah doesn't agree with Sophie once again.
I just don't have the effort to have this much care about situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whereas I hold on to everything.
Yeah, she holds
everything I hold on to.
Whereas I at this point, who's got the energy?
You're a loosey-goosey. Anyway.
Well, I hope not.
My goosey is in fact not Lucy. Anyway, the other day my mother-in-law was staying at our house overnight. I walked in the living room. My husband was sitting on one of the chairs and my mother-in-law was laying on the couch in a t-shirt and underwear. The moment she saw me walk in, she quickly covered herself up. I don't think this is normal to lay in nothing but underwear and a t-shirt in front of your 35-year-old son. To keep it short, she's always tried to look like me and wear similar types of clothing. She even told my husband once that if he ever gets divorced, not to worry, he can come live with her and take our children to live with her. Her words, it will be me, you, and your kids as a family. She's not married. How do I deal with her constantly competing with me?
Okay, so it's her son.
Yes.
But, okay, right. It was a bit weird until you said the last part. But, like, if she's not married and she's alone, then she probably will be a bit of a, like a gripper, you know?
A gripper. Like a carpet gripper. Like.
Oh, I wish I never said that. My mind is going to like 5 different places at once.
The thing is that there's different levels here. Because everyone gets brought up differently, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, some people are very much like they'll walk around their house naked in front of their children.
No, that's wrong, Sophie. That
But
is
they
wrong.
do.
It doesn't matter how you're raised, that is wrong.
Did I say it was right? Because
I think
Leo
I'd
and
be
I-
absolutely mortified if I saw my mum's ham sandwich.
Oh my God, I don't ever want to picture it. All I'm saying is Leah and I was not raised that way.
No.
We never got brought up in a household like that. We were all, you know, fully clothed. I don't know how to say this if I start with, but some people, I am aware of some households, like, especially when the kids are younger, it's not anything to be embarrassed about. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not saying they're just like walking around with their wang out the whole time. I'm just saying, like, yo, but nudists do exist as well, Leah.
Yeah, I found that out when I accidentally went onto a nudist beach.
But this is what I'm saying. So if they got brought up in an environment where, you know, that's how she raised her children, then okay. But now this is different. He's 35. He's living with his wife, girlfriend. I don't think husband. So living with his wife and him is a different kettle of fish. But, depends what underwear. Depends if she's sitting there with her legs open, because, yeah, that'd be weird.
If it's a G-string, it's a no-go.
Yeah, that's a no. But you got to think, people sexualise underwear, but we wear swimming costumes and bikinis. Look at Leah's Instagram. Like, it happens. You know.
Can I just say, yeah, but that is my rule. That's why, like, look, I won't post like a bikini pic or anything from behind because I feel like, look, guys,
But she did that.
You
on
have to
YouTube,
pay if you want to
so
see
just
that.
Check her YouTube. But
No, but I never showed the back because
I
my
think you kinda
argument,
did.
no, I didn't. My argument was if you would see it on the beach, then what's the difference?
But that's what I'm saying.
But
So
when you're that old, like,
But there's two components to this. There's, you know, she's walked in and she's just lounging around in not a lot of clothing. But then she's also said that the mother-in-law tries to compete and look like her, and that's a whole new ball game. That's, you know, is she copying her hairstyle? Is she copying what she's wearing? Because, you know, some people like the same style, but we're not in this, you know.
but then as well, like, what time of the day was it?
Well, that's
Like,
the thing.
Was it a really baggy t-shirt?
Yeah, was she half covered? Was it really hot?
Because like a baggy t-shirt is a look.
Yeah, but I personally wouldn't do it. Like, if I came down and my mother-in-law, who I've never seen in that, like, wearing not a lot of clothing, I'd probably be like, what? But
Yeah.
it, you know, it just, there's so much to it. But yeah, I would feel uncomfortable, especially if it's in my house. But yeah, that's a bit weird. I'd like to know what people think about that one, actually, because
But he obviously isn't bothered because he's probably like, oh,
But then I
there's
think-
mum again.
oh, hi, Mum.
Mummy.
So I'd be interested, because I know that you said, like, it's not normal for people to walk around naked, but it is to some people, and it's not in a sexual way. But again, I'd like to know, because we got brought up in is it a conservative, like, not like a conservative.
But then, yeah, actually, is there like a double standard? Because if you had like a father-in-law wearing boxers,
yeah,
like I wouldn't find that as weird.
I think I still
Actually, maybe I
would. I think I would. I'm like, can you put some clothes
If you had a
on?
top on and shorts, like boxers.
Honestly, I don't. But again, I think just people get brought up all differently, and yeah, I don't know. I would feel uncomfortable. I can understand, especially if this is the first time, it sounds like.
But then, yeah, then she just needs to speak to her husband and be like, is this something that normally happens?
Yeah, like get a bit of a background. But again, is
But
she
then,
sitting there just
do you know
normally, or legs akimbo?
If her dropped omelette is concealed, yeah, then like
Yeah, if it's just
let
like a
her
baggy
live.
knicker kind of day,
Maybe she just wants to get a bit of air
she
there.
wants to free the labia.
Right, what's the third one?
Third one is about weddings.
Okay.
So, I am male 31 and fiance female 30 are getting married next weekend. Since the wedding planning has started, mother-in-law has made the entire wedding about herself, going full bridezilla on the wedding party as if she is the one getting married. My fiance is very kind and can sometimes be a pushover. She has let a lot of mother-in-law's behaviour slide. Recently, mother-in-law texted my fiance the dress she planned to wear at the wedding, and it was this off-white silky dress. My fiance went ballistic on her and told her this is unacceptable amongst other things. Mother-in-law went into a tantrum and eventually relented. Yesterday she came over to babysit for us, and to our horror her hair was painted this terrible bright pink colour. At this point I knew why she did it and told her that I'm uninviting her from our wedding and expect security to stop her if she tries to show up. Fiance supported me on this. Since then, countless family members have hounded us and calling us arseholes for sending mother-in-law into a depression.
Oh my God, there's layers to this.
This is an onion situation.
Okay, well, most people know that there's like a rule when you get married, no one else is allowed to wear white.
I had that rule, yet
Which-
people still wore it.
But to be honest,
I had it on a website and everything.
I'm not really planning to get married, or if I do get married, it won't be in the like traditional way.
We're going to get a holiday somewhere. I'm tagging along.
Yeah, so I'll probably like go on a 2-week like holiday instead.
We're hoping for Mauritius.
We have our fingers crossed.
Just
We've put it in the calendar.
I actually am though. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so basically, like I don't even want to deal with all that headache because
Well,
the
you
amount
don't
of
have to. You cut her off.
the amount of money you pay, no, but just general, because I think wedding guests in general can make a wedding a nightmare. And the day
Well, they
goes,
do make up for a lot of the people attending.
but the day goes so fast as well.
It did. Yeah,
it's a lot
it
of
did
money.
go really quick.
But yeah, I think if I was to get married, I think if my mother, if I had a nice mother-in-law, I wouldn't be fussed if she wore white because I feel like, well, they're still not going to be looking at her, are they? But it's actually very impressive though that the husband
Picked up on it, yeah.
picked up on it and like stood up for that point.
Because normally, you know, they're like, oh no, she doesn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
You know, she's just misunderstood. She just wants what's best for you. Whereas it seems like the mum is a bit of a narcissist.
So maybe there's a theme. So that's why the husband picked up on it because this isn't the first rodeo.
But I do think a white dress is different to a white silky dress. Silk is a particular wedding dress material, and I can just imagine what it's like, especially for it to kick off. I don't know what it is because normally it's the mother-in-law of the son who is this person because like it's my boy, you know. They're always the ones causing issues. Not my mother-in-law. I love you, Linda.
Shout out Linda.
Shout out Linda. But however, you know, the fact that this is her mum doing it, that maybe she fancies the son-in-law.
Wait, it's her mum.
Yeah, look. I, male 31, and fiance female 30 are getting married. I'm Mal. And yeah, his mother-in-law. Not his mum, his mother-in-law.
Oh God.
Which is, I think that's kind of more unheard of, more in like the niche mother-in-law toxic area over here.
We're really diving in.
Yeah, I would be really pissed off. My mum wore a beautiful outfit, but she's got 4 daughters, 3 of them married. Not one of her dresses was white. Love you, Lynn.
Shout out Lynn.
But yeah, literally, you just don't. It's weird. It's not even like it's a guest. It's her mum.
And the thing is as well, like what I don't understand is obviously when there's feelings involved, I feel like no one actually ever thinks with a level head because then you think like they could just sit down and discuss and then maybe if she explained why she didn't want her to wear white and then she could say, oh, but you know, white just really goes to my colour complexion. I was going to fake tan. It was really going to pop.
Yeah, but you know that's not the reason. And then the fact when it's kicked off, she's taken that one step and dyed her hair this
That's what I was going
horrible pink colour before it happened. Yeah. Like but at the end of the day, she's going to be the one looking at that photo going, oh, why did I dye my hair pink? Like, I love pink hair.
It depends, yeah. If it's a nice blush pink.
But at the end of the day, the only person that's going to affect with her horrible hair is her. When people look back at pictures in 100 years, like they find this relic of a wedding photo, like, oh, she didn't have a very good hair.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's then the retaliation. Because, like, look, the mother-in-law is old enough to know better
Mhm.
and to handle situations.
Well, she birthed
So-
a 30-year-old, so
So you would think,
not birthed an actual 30-year-old
Yeah.
like 30 years ago.
so if to keep the peace, you think that she'd maybe just be like, look, I'm sorry, I'll find another dress. But the fact that she's then rocked up and she's got pink hair, but then at the end of the day as well, it looks like they do rely on her to look after the children and stuff. And I feel like a lot of the times people can be so out of order, but they still like expect free babysitting services.
But I don't think they are out of order in this situation. You know, they've pulled the mum up. She's
What-
thrown
but
a
wait.
tantrum.
So what about uninviting her from the wedding
Yeah,
completely?
that was it. And
That's
getting
too far.
security. Like, I maybe, like, just be like, have a dress on standby. If she arrives in this white silky dress still, then be like, hold up, mate. You ain't passing this. You shall not pass. And then, you know, the option is from the security, you wear this dress or you leave. And then, you know, but at the end of the day, we said at the beginning of this that you shouldn't deal with toxic people, and maybe they just need to cut her off. Although
Okay, no, that's too
But
far.
we don't know. Okay.
What there
also,
look, this is what happens, yeah.
don't come at me with your hands.
If she didn't want her to wear the dress, instead of just communicate, this is all the
It's
problem is
communication.
communication.
But we
Because-
wasn't there. She could have been like, "Look, Mum, I don't really want you to wear this dress." And she's like, "Well, I don't want to wear it." And then you'll be like, "Well, you don't
But
know."
what they've done, yeah, they've just escalated the situation. One's gone here, then the other one's gone here.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be a resolution.
You
And
you can never have a sound conversation if you're both annoyed. It's like if you're really angry at someone, you should never send that text straight away. You should write it, go away.
breathe, and then send that mother.
I was just like, I don't even do that. I'm just like, you fucking don't fucking send. But yeah, I do think that, you know, the mother-in-law was out of order, but also you said about babysitting, you cannot justify someone's bad behaviour just because they babysit. You
Well,
can pay
look,
for one of those.
Childminders are expensive.
They are.
So,
I'll babysit for free for you. I won't wear a white
but
dress.
yeah,
to the wedding.
basically, what I just think now it's escalated. Now there's bad blood because now the other guests
And
might not
family.
come.
Yeah.
And
Well,
now,
they didn't say that. They're not bloody staging like a walkout. It's not a strike on the tube or anything.
But now, on the day of her wedding, is she not going to be worried about all those guests?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's about them two. And if they, do you know what, just elope.
Elope is the way.
Go to Mauritius. We'll meet you on the beach for a wedding. Which will happen.
But yeah, basically, now where do you go from there though? Because once you've uninvited someone to the wedding, unless everyone's going to calm down and be like, look, let's
There needs
all
to be an
meet you.
intervention.
Yeah.
They need to sit them down and be like, your behaviour wasn't okay. I hope you understand why. I've done a
Oh.
PowerPoint presentation. Let's watch it. I've done some like,
Do you know what? I feel like I should be a counsellor because in these situations, I'm like, guys, you sit down, look, stop. This is what we're going to do. You're not going to wear the dress and you're going to get over yourself and invite your mum again.
And then throw a box of diet here and be like, get rid of that. Thing is though, it could be a really nice pink.
I know, a pastel pink.
Yeah, but maybe I think like different shades of pink make really nice hair. So I'd like to know what colour pink
And
this is.
also, yeah,
Can you let us know
look,
if you watch
also,
this?
if she really had a good reason for needing to wear white, yeah.
The fake tan is not
No,
a reason to
precisely.
wear one. Someone's wedding.
No, but do you remember, even for your hen do, I found all the dresses I could find that looked nice were white. And I kept being like, are you sure? And she was like, do not wear white. So I never wore white, okay? But those white dresses, I can't talk about it.
I think it's, you know, standard traditional
yes.
wedding, don't wear white. But then there's some beautiful weddings where the bride and groom or the groom and groom or the bride and bride or the, you know,
Yeah.
whoever the people are getting married, if they want everyone to wear white and they wear black, that looks awesome. But at least, oh my God, it looks so good. But at least they communicate that to the people, you know, like they're saying, go off, wear white,
But
only
also,
white.
the point I was going to add is the mother-in-law doesn't walk down the aisle. She's already sat at the front.
You can't wear white.
No, what I'm saying is you're not going to necessarily see her unless you're going to just see her in the pictures. And then those will just be the family ones. And you could just like stick a behind Bob. Done.
Okay, anyway, just get rid of the white dress. So,
Well, it's too late now.
I don't know when this.
There's a family divide. It's too late.
Oh God, let's get them on the show. And welcome. No, okay.
Oh my God, imagine.
I'd love to do that. My mother-in-law physically attacked my wife in the parking lot, accusing us of drinking too much on our wedding night. Got to be reminded this our entire honeymoon. There were bruises on her shoulders. When confronted, had no recollection of the events that occurred, even though she was sober that night.
Oh, so she was sober and she attacked.
Yeah, and this claim, I don't remember.
But what, it's bruises on the arms?
Yeah, so she's attacked, his wife. The wife has bruises, so during the honeymoon, they're just seeing like these bruised shoulders. And is that like a bit of like a shaking of the shoulder?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Or
did she just
karate
did she
shoulder?
just bruise like a peach? Because
I
like
don't know, it depends because you've got to think if someone wants to grab your
she
shoulders
must have
and
some
really
strong
put the
hands.
talons in.
I've got like no grip in my hands, so like
You've got baby hands. But yeah, I think if she was drunk, she could have probably played it as, sorry,
and
couldn't
also,
control myself.
what we should
Drink
say,
is not a reason.
no, but what we should say is a disclaimer. Yeah, it's never right to get physically.
Oh, never, ever, ever.
So
ever,
yeah,
ever.
like no one should ever touch you unless you're consenting. But yeah, there should always be consent, obviously. But no one's going to consent to being attacked. But yeah, that's so awkward as well. But what? I just think, look, you've paid all that money. Like getting drunk is nice to
But she didn't get drunk.
No, but the bride and groom.
Okay, can you not talk about this? Because I got very drunk on my wedding day.
Yeah, and that's what we should also mention as well. Because Sophie got married in July, and she was so stressed and worried that whenever she looked a bit uneasy, my mum said, Leah, go to the bar and get her tequila. Do you know how many times I had to go back there? I had to go there during the sit-down meal. I had to get up and go to the bar to be like, okay, I'll just get her some more tequila.
Okay, can I just say tequila is my favourite alcoholic drink.
No
I don't
rush.
really drink anyway. I'm not a big drinker. I don't. I'd rather be able to, get in the car the next day or get in the car that night and drive home and wake up. I just don't like drinking really. But that being said, when I do, I'm partial to a tequila. However, my mother was ordering these tequilas. I had an empty stomach because I felt so ill, and stressed that I didn't eat.
Because we needed to get you drunk quick. Okay.
But the thing is, it's so awkward as well because during the wedding video, my dad was saying something during his speech. And then in my head, I was like, that's not what you said. Like, that's how I thought I sounded in the joke when they were talking about Liam moving out. And then when we got the video, I go, that's not what you said. And I was like, oh my God, I'm slurring my words during the freaking speeches.
But then, why would they be annoyed? Because is she just annoyed at them because of what other people will think? Because that's not a good enough reason.
I don't know. At the end of the day, whoever is getting married, their wedding, you cannot comment on someone else's wedding because that is how they want today. Whether they want to get drunk, whether they want to get high, whether they want to ride a camel, I don't know. They can do whatever they want on their wedding day. You cannot judge them. You cannot judge a person. And the fact that she physically attacked her, there's
I'd like to know what you
I can't defend this woman. I can't.
You need a night in prison. That's what you need. In a prison cell. Is that what they're called? Yes. But as well, yeah, if you're going to say something negative, I personally don't believe in saying anything negative to anyone, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I would say something nice or don't say anything at all. But obviously, there's a theme with mother-in-laws.
I've heard her say horrible things to me before. Can I just say
it's something I'm working on, and some people
personal development.
Some people just need to be told, okay? But yeah,
it's disgusting behaviour. I'm sorry. This has made me really angry.
The mother-in-law is just very self-absorbed because you would think, I don't want to ruin their experience of their wedding, and then obviously they're going to be annoyed or stewing over it on their honeymoon. You don't want to ruin their little precious moment because that's only a little bubble you're in for so long and then it wears off,
That day only happens once unless you plan to get married.
Could be multiple. Could be 3 or 4.
Yeah, however many times you want to get married, it's down to you. Whether it's to the same person, a different person, that is your choice. But nothing, it's disgusting behaviour and see, that's not okay. That's made me really mad. Because the fact that she was bruised as well just shows it wasn't a small attack.
But to be fair, obviously I'm not excusing the behaviour, but I feel like the arm area does bruise easier than any other part of your body.
I just think it's disgusting. And the fact that they said that, the fact that she's saying she's got no recollection when she didn't drink, does she suffer with blackouts? Does she have, a disorder but then I feel like they would have mentioned that in this post.
Yeah, that would have been relevant. But clearly, she did something. She's embarrassed. And do you know what? She's clearly just not old enough to take
Well,
responsibility for her
mature enough.
actions. That's what it is. So she's like, no, I ain't gonna.
Like, oh, sorry, you got married? Where was my invite? I don't know. I just think the whole thing's disgusting behaviour, and she should really be put in a naughty corner and think about her actions.
Well, do you know what they say?
Can't beat them, join them.
I was gonna say, I don't know, I forgot the saying. But basically, yeah. I was like, do you know what? I'll do it back to you. See how you like. No, you shouldn't. Don't do that. No, that's
Two
terrible
wrongs don't
advice.
make a right, but if you hit
They make a left. They make a circle. But yeah.
Of trust.
I don't know how you're going to deal with that one, to be fair, because I feel like the relationship won't ever really be the same.
No. You'll always remember it, and I'd always bring it up in an argument as well.
Oh, you're going to hit me again, are you? Yeah.
I actually, knowing me, if someone, like, I feel like that just breaks a trust, and you can never rebuild that. Like, you should never physically lay your hands on someone. It's not a joke. It's not okay. And I just think, like, that level of trust can't ever be rebuilt, because you will be thinking, if they raise their hands to me so openly in front of everyone that's at the wedding, in front of her son, she'll do it again.
Well, do you know what? If I was her, I would have punched her right in the throat. I'd have been like, right, let's go, lady. Let's go.
I probably would have cried. Anyway.
Yeah, Sophie would have cried.
No, but the thing is, when I get angry, I cry. Like, my emotion builds so much. So I'm like,
I think loads of people do that. I do that sometimes. I get so like angry that you're actually shaking, you're crying, and you're like, I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because I'm angry.
Yeah. I'll see, if you said mad, it would have rhymed. Okay. Now this one, I left till last because it literally gave me like the it gave me the ick. It was just.
Oh, I hate. Do you know what? Do you know what gives me the ick? The word ick. I hate it.
The talk with my mother-in-law. About 2 months before I married my husband, she took me to Sonic Drive-In to have some girl time. It was my first time eating there. As she munched on her hamburger, she decided to talk to me about pleasing her son in the bedroom. Almost 20 years later, I still can't eat at Sonic because that conversation grossed me out so much. For our first Christmas as a married couple, she gave me a red velour negligee. My husband told me I could never wear it. Then, my husband's brother was about to get married. She insisted I go have the talk with his future wife. She kept trying to schedule a time for the two of us to get together to talk. Finally, the fiancé and I went out, and I agreed to tell her that we had the talk if the mother-in-law asked. I now live over 1,000 miles from my mother-in-law.
Well,
it's so disgusting.
Well, does she just think she's some type of expert?
Let me just pull out my diagram.
She's like, look, I've killed 5 husbands with this move. So, like, does she think she's like so insane that like? I'm surprised she didn't go one step further and go, look, I will demonstrate with my son.
Leah,
you watch.
Leah, no.
But that's the next step.
No.
That would have been the next step.
The thing is, again, this is just a very weird behaviour. This is where someone has crossed the line very early on. It's very fixated on her son. I don't understand why you feel like you need to have the talk with someone, because if those people weren't compatible sexually, they wouldn't be together. Depends on their sexual preference, on, whether they both agree that they're not really into it or what they like. Like, people, if you're an adult, you're going to have these conversations, right? You're going to talk about whether you like having sex, whether you don't. If you're a person that likes having sex and a person that don't, it's their choice to stay together. However, 9 times out of 10, if someone's together, normally, I was going to say the stars align, but yeah, that too. So, something did align, I guess, but just, Anyway, I find this a very weird overstepping of the mark. Because what she's supposed to say, yeah, you know what your son really likes? Like, she's not going to turn around and be like, do you know what? I'm going to take note. And when I go back and I do this, I'm like, your mum told me to do that. It's weird.
I wish you'd have expanded, like, how much detail was she going into? Was it just standard stuff? Was it freaky stuff?
Well, I don't think she was going to say, like, yeah, what you do is you want to strangle me. Like, she's not going to say that. She's not going to give that information. Well, I don't know, we could probably ask her. But
we're going to need her number.
Like, we just need
Can you
further
put me in
parenting.
touch with your mother-in-law?
Just need some tips. But it's just a weird line to cross. I guess, sex can come up, but to say how to please my son is just such a weird thing that no one should ever say, and I feel disgusting saying it.
Well, because, yeah, also, like, she's assuming she knows what her son likes. What if he's
Look,
into some
Leah.
really kinky, like...
But the thing is, the mum shouldn't even be worrying about that. That's not something, that's not something you worry about as I'm not a mother, neither is she. But I can assure you, I've never thought to myself, oh, I really hope my sister really likes what's going on with her. Like, you just don't think, like, obviously with your friends, you'll have conversations about sex, and some people do, some people don't. But with a mother-in-law, can you imagine that's like your dad saying, let me just tell... No, I can't even say it.
Yeah, why did you start saying that for?
Because it's the same thing. It's just weird.
But, yeah, like, if she said that to me, I'd be like, I'm alright, thanks. Like, I'm alright.
Just send me the diagram. I'll look at it when I get home.
Like, oh, if you actually just send me your homemade video.
Oh my God, can you imagine? We've got a new movie tonight, mate.
I'm more of a visual learner.
Oh no. But that's the thing. And then the fact that she thinks it's okay for her to say, Joe, you need to go talk to her now.
No, do you know what it is? It's becoming like a cult. That's what it is.
It is. But the thing is, like, I think it's a really healthy relationship, though, that the two daughter-in-laws can have that conversation in a very, like, honest and open, like, look, this is what she wants us to do. We're not going to talk about this, but, let's just make a pact that if she asks, we'll just say yes. But no, again, they should be saying to her,
this is not a dictatorship.
Yeah, get out of my
bedroom.
You do, get out of my bedroom. She Joe, I wouldn't be surprised if she set up cameras. She'd be like, I just need to just check if she's doing what I've told her. It's just a very weird concept, and I think some people just don't know when to say stop. Like, she might think, do you know what? I really hope. No, don't even know why she'd be thinking that, but she might be thinking that. But to actually go on and say it and buy lingerie for someone. Like,
No, do you know what? I actually don't think there's anything wrong with that part. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but that stuff's expensive.
Yeah, well, say, get me
I'm
a
like,
gift
what I'm going
card.
to do, I'm going to create a wish list. If you can work your way through the list throughout the year, that would be great.
Yeah, but Leah, that's okay. No, I'm never buying you underwear either, so don't even look at me at your bank. Like, I ain't doing that. I ain't this weird woman.
Well, it's my birthday next month, so high hopes for me.
Not from me. But the whole concept is weird. The fact that, okay, maybe she was like, do you know what? Maybe you're inexperienced. I don't know. I don't even know how she'd even have that. But then to think she can then say, I'm going to schedule time with you to discuss, and you can pass on the information I've given you.
See, but then I think this is where the problem is. Like,
They're
I feel like
her behaviour.
I feel like as the daughter-in-law, like, why don't we just make it normal that the daughter-in-law can, in a respectful way, because it's still the mother-in-law at the end of the day,
go away,
could just say in a nice way, be like, thank you, I appreciate you offering, but actually, I'll pass. But if I have any questions,
yeah,
I've got your number. I'll FaceTime. Do you know what I mean?
FaceTime.
It's 2022.
Yeah, yeah, it's gross. I'd like to know people's opinion on this. I'd like to know if anyone has actually had this happen to them.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd really like to know, if you're watching this on YouTube, please leave us a comment. If you've had this happen, please send it to our email. I'll link that somewhere too. But yeah, I'd like to know people's opinions on all of these stories we've discussed, and if they've actually experienced something similar. Like I said, I think I've lived quite a sheltered life because I like my mother-in-law and I've never been in a situation like this. And when I read these stories, I'm like, oh my God, these people exist.
They do. Do you know what? I would know how much I would love to have like a mother-in-law.
Would you?
I would love
makes
that.
Me sad.
Oh no.
Maybe we can ask this lady. You can get your underwear, and then she can be your mother-in-law, a surrogate one.
Oh my God.
If anyone wants to be Leah's mother-in-law and send her underwear every month, let her know.
Yeah. I'm lovely. And I'll be the best daughter-in-law. I'm not joking. I'd be so good. I think that's what hurts me more. Is I know I'd be so good at being a mother-in-law, a daughter-in-law. Oh my god, I'd be so good at being a daughter-in-law, and I
But do
feel
you know
like
what?
I've
Do you
been
know what?
robbed.
You just like all of these women, all of these people have written in, all of these men, all of the people that have decided to take the time and write their stories and put them out there, they all have the ability now to make sure that that toxic trait, toxic experience doesn't happen to their daughter-in-law, their in-law, their son-in. Do you know what I mean? That they can take that. So, like, all of this behaviour that they've experienced, they can make sure that they do not pass it on to their in-laws in the future. Do you know what I mean?
I just want a mother-in-law now.
Okay.
Even though that's weird, isn't it? We're reading about nightmare mother-in-laws, and I'm like, I really want an actual mother-in-law.
Yes, but you do have one.
No, I don't.
She's horrible. And if you're listening, I don't like you. And there was no need to unfriend me. I was just being nosy. And I'll leave it at that. I'm still holding that grudge.
I'm not, because honestly, like I would say actually, like calm people out is probably the best thing you can do, because like we haven't looked back. Like you don't even give it a second thought. Do you know what I mean? Like
I'd like to know sometimes what she's doing, but
what's wrong with you?
not in like I want to talk to her way. I just like keeping up with people and knowing what's going on in their life.
Nah, honestly.
And this is where we're different.
No. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed our very first episode. So we'll probably do some more Reddit stories, but like we said, if you want to write into us, you can do that, and we can read your story, but it will be anonymous.
Everything's anonymous.
Yeah, and I suppose we'll just talk about any other current topics when they arise. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. I love listening to podcasts when I sleep, or like in the background when I work. So even if you just want to fall asleep to our voice, our soothing radio voice, then you do that. So I hope you enjoy this podcast, and we'll see you next time.
For Too Candid.
Oh, the podcast is weekly. It's a weekly podcast. Okay, well, thank you.
And good night.
Good night. How did you know I was going to say that?
Because we've lived together and shared a womb. You just breathed very heavily on me. Bye, guys.
Bye.